Okay, so just as an add-on to 3 points of balance, I'm going to show you something that might make that a little easier for you. So I have my flute here, and you can see on the back side of my flute, I have a couple of stickies on there. And these just help me to have better balance on the flute, and it makes it a little bit more comfortable. So the one I'm specifically going to show you how to make is this one that's on the back here. So on our 3 points of balance, remember we have our chin, we have our X marks the spot on our left hand, and then we have our right thumb on the back of our flute, okay? So I'm going to show you really quickly how to put a little pad back here so that you have a spot to aim for on your flute when you are using your right thumb for 3 points of balance. Okay, so let's talk about how we put that pad on the back of our flute. I'm just going to show you quick on my own flute. So remember, we have everything laid out here on a table so that our flute can't fall off as we're working on it. Okay, and the things that you're going to need if you want to add this pad to the back of your flute, again, it's completely optional, but you'll need a pair of scissors and you'll need some moleskin foam, okay? It doesn't matter what brand or anything, but just something that's nice and soft like this and has a sticky edge. You could also use like a pencil grip that goes on the edge of a pencil, and you can just cut it in half and use one of those. What's really important is that we never use glue on our flute. It's okay to use clear Scotch tape. That's totally fine. That won't hurt your flute at all, nor will this, but never use any other kind of adhesive. Don't use glue, or definitely don't use hot glue, anything like that. Just either plain clear tape or just the adhesive on the back of this. Okay, so to put our pad on the back of our flute, the first thing we're going to need to do is just very carefully cut a square of our moleskin padding, okay? It doesn't need to be a very big square. I'm just going to cut this part off here, and it's going to be about 1 inch wide by 1 inch tall, okay? It does not need to be perfect, so don't panic if it doesn't look exactly like mine, okay? So about 1 inch by 1 inch, okay? And now I'm going to very carefully pick up the body of my flute, and I'm going to turn it around so that the neck is pointing to the left and the ankle is pointing to the right. And you remember, our pinky key would be down here, right, if it were attached to the rest of our flute. So actually I'll put that together just to make the context a little easier for you, okay? Our pinky goes here, and then we go 3, 2, 1 with our right hand, and our one finger is the F key, okay? So our pad is going to go on the flute right behind the F key, where our right thumb would rest for 3 points of balance, okay? I'm going to carefully set that down, and I'm going to pick up my pad and just carefully peel the paper off the sticky side of it, okay? And just carefully turn it around, and this is where it might be helpful to maybe have a parent help you, or to set it down on a table so that you can do it. I'm going to hold it up, but you find that F key, and then you carefully take it and you want to place it on the flute so that the top edge is kind of right underneath that bar, okay? It's important that it's not all the way stuck up under the bar so that it's touching any of the other keys, but it can just rest gently on your flute like that, and you can push it down, okay? You don't need to worry about this hurting your flute. When you're ready to take this off, it'll just peel right off. There might be a little bit of sticky residue left on it, but you can just take some rubbing alcohol and just wipe that off. It will not damage your flute, okay? And so now we have that sticky on there, and if you need to adjust it a little bit, you can peel it off and stick it back on. That's fine. But when I have my 3 points of balance, now I have a soft pillow for my thumb to rest on, so that when I'm holding my flute with my thumb back here for 3 points of balance, there's a nice squishy area. So this is completely optional for you, but it is something that I'd recommend. It's what I use on my own flute, just because it makes it a little easier for me to remember where my thumb is supposed to go. So I hope that's helpful, and in another video, if you have something more that looks like this, some sort of thumb rest, I'll show you how to use these.